Hello. Hello. How are we all doing? Welcome to the stream. My name's Crispy Parsnips. Are we all well? We all good? I hope so. Yeah. Sorry about yesterday. Just needed a little time to do other things. Got to work out proper, work-life balance stuff, less overlap, etc. Well, that's the first time I was in Stoic used in chat for a while. So yeah, we all good? I have endeavoured to attempt to make the background music more solid and less sort of up and down. I've put a compressor on it. Let me know if it works or if it needs more compression, etc. The music is, as ever, provided by Adrian von Ziegler, whose name I will now put into chat. Bingo, I copied and pasted it. Which could also serve to illustrate how far behind your stream is compared to the chat. Yeah, I also found out that Adrian von Ziegler has a Patreon, so if you want to support him, that's a thing you can do. He does good music, it's good. Yeah. We all good? This made good art, that is true. That is absolutely true. Hello Benjamin, how you doing? Yeah. So yeah, streams. This is a stream. Is the music too loud? I can turn it down, that's fine. Again, with the compressor, it's sort of difficult now because it's not a matter of volume, it's a matter of you can't hear the music? Okay, that's interesting. I've turned it down a little bit. Let me know if that's fine. It is whistles and stuff, so I'm much louder than the music? Okay, well, we'll adjust as we go along. I can't hear it myself, but that's fine. Anyway, I'm really quiet. That shouldn't have changed. It's weird. I'm not shouting. Shush. You couldn't hear it. Now it's very quiet, very odd. I'll turn it up again because most of you seem to say it's quiet as it is. So this is the level I usually have it at, but it's also got a compressor on it, so hopefully it'll be a bit more present and a little less than there. So also depends on what actual music is playing right now. But some very soft stuff at the moment, so you probably can't hear anything. Yeah, we should probably do something. So, your headphones are glitching or something? That shouldn't affect, because the audio balancing is happening on my end. Also, there's no music playing right now, so this might be a good time to calibrate. But I don't see how it would be your headphones. It's interesting, because no, my next door neighbours decided to start doing some construction work. That's marvellous. Yeah. But yeah, it's not like, my voice is in the left channel and the music's in the right channel or anything. But, strange. Yeah, how's that, How are your ears at the moment, by the way, Kira? They getting better? Oh wow, music's kicked in now. Nice Celtic Mix by Adrian von Ziegler. Anyway, we should probably start with, actually doing something to do with the stream, shouldn't we? Bit of a recap. You have your volume on max and can barely hear me. The music is louder. Are you sure you're listening to the right music? There you go. I've paused the music. Does that help? That's weird. Why would it be doing that? Because like I say, the output should be the same for all of you. Or input for you. You sure you just don't have any other music playing in the background? Or I'll take off the compressor, see if that helps. We'll sort it out live. It's fine. Absolutely fine. Okay, compressor's off. See if that helps. Shouldn't make that much of a difference, all things considered. It looks a lot quieter now, but that's gonna happen. What with compressors and such. I don't know why I'd be a lot quieter. My voice was at least twice as loud on my output. Yeah. Could be on Twitch's end. I know, but I'm sending Twitch, I presume, just a stereo output. Like, I sound the same. Well, I wouldn't change. The music would. So it's a little better. How unusual. They did refresh, I think. Put the compressor back on. Didn't seem to make much of a difference. Yeah, I don't know what to say, to be honest. Given that it's everyone else who seems to be fine, and for some weird reason yours isn't. A bit of a bother. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, just refreshing, closing the browser and opening it again. Because sometimes refreshing isn't enough. Because computers, they're like that. Yeah. No, I kind of don't want to start until everyone's comfy, you know? How's everyone else? Everyone else good? Yeah? I presume, who have we got in chat? Let's scroll up. We've got Dark Sun, Chibi, Weird, Kiro, Triforce, Plamps. Plamps is here. Marvellous. Benjamin, Oobs. I think that's it. Yeah. Have you altered the volume settings with whatever you're watching Twitch? Yeah, I don't know. But even then, why would I be quieter than the music? Doesn't make an awful lot of sense. Actually, the music could be doing with being a little bit quieter right now. You're here just quiet. That's fine, Emily. No, there's no need for anyone to speak if they do not wish. You're doing good, even though you allegedly killed me. Oh no, that's fine. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. Please do not get the police involved. Ragnar's just in the art. You're waking up, you feel it in your bones. Oh, no. It's very good. It echoes the unfortunate events that that befell Pal last time, which we might as well get a recap of whilst we are here. So last time, if I recall correctly, and by if I recall correctly, I'm going to show you, we woke up under a tree, or Pal woke up under a tree and was attacked by vampire bats. Your clever thought was to get rid of them by throwing half of a bloody eel into a bush. That allowed you to run away somewhere else. That somewhere else was in front of two wild hillmen who shot you in the shoulder. Or shot Pal in the shoulder. They didn't seem particularly hostile, they were just trying to be annoying. I suppose that's their sense of humour. You let them be and carried on north, and then west. No, east. Yeah, right's east, yeah. I'm bad with east and west, guys. Why did I decide to do this thing with a lot of easts and wests? You then found a well, decided to play the recorder in the well, because that's what Pal does. Went in the well, fell in the well, hit your head, but you got a helmet, so it's fine. Got a bit soggy, picked up a torch, got shot by another arrow in the other shoulder. Can't believe you guys managed to actually do that. It literally, one of them was the left shoulder, one of them was the right shoulder. Amazing, love it. Pallets and bad reaction times. He learnt after a while. After a while they just sort of stood in one place catching arrows and stuff. You did have a thought. You sure it's not in the book because you presume the normal character is human, but down in the well when we heard the voices, would Pal have known if they were speaking Gobbo? Can we do a language check comprehension or something? I don't know. It's entirely possible goblins have lots of different languages, maybe? Regional dialects and stuff, difficult to tell. You think they're gremlins? Well, we found a gremlin. There's no guarantee the other voices were gremlins. Anyway, this is where we are in the well. We made a little mini-map. We went into the well, north, but then there was the junction, one east, one west. You decided to go west. You got shot by trying to go north, and instead of investigating, you went south, where you killed a gremlin and got some gold, but left behind the other half of the eel. So in your endeavours last time, you managed to lose a whole eel, but pick up 3 arrows and a torch, and a lot of gold. So yeah. Was Pal raised among goblins or civilized peoples? Yeah, that's a question. That's part of the thing. I don't know. Pick up arrows. Yeah, pull out would be a better description, I think. But yeah. Anyway, this was the gremlin you killed. Didn't actually want to do the color picking thing. I've been using Clip Studio, and Photoshop is a bit strange to me now. So Yeah. Phrasing? Yeah, sure. Once we get a bow thrown at our heads, we're going to be unstoppable. Yeah, all you need to do, you need to get hit on the head with a branch, and then somebody needs to try and strangle you with a bit of string, and then put it all together, you get yourself a bow and 3 arrows. Yeah. Pull out arrow, bleed to death. Depends on the arrow. If they were just these were very simple arrows. They weren't, they didn't have sort of the metal, as I have drawn them in the inventory, they didn't have the metal spike things that stop you pulling them out and tear your flesh. They were just sharp bits of wood. It's basically like having a big splinter. And it was just your shoulder, it didn't hit anything major, fortunately. So yeah, so we now have 14 health out of 21. You can at any point, just to remind you, we can at any point when you are safe, stop and have one of your provisions. That will restore 4 of your health. Also, as an aside, you do have a potion of luck, which will allow you to restore your luck to full +1. It will increase your maximum luck. So yeah. Or you could kill the ones with bows, that is true. You did just walk past the hillmen last time, so you never know what they've got. Yeah, so, and then you had a fight with the goblin where you got slashed in the knees. But you got there in the end. Well, not goblin, gremlin, you're a goblin. You'll waive this for narrative purposes. Look, we want this to go beyond 3 streams. The shoulder is a rather vulnerable part of the body, though. You looked it up once and you basically would have hit a very specific part not to tear any muscles or important blood vessels. Look, Pal is a goblin. Goblin physiology is very different from human physiology. We'll leave it at that. Hello, Crow. How you doing? But I have tried to adapt the source material based on the fact that we are a goblin. For instance, you have to slouch down a little bit because the tunnel is only a meter tall. In the book, you are human, and as a consequence, you have to basically crawl everywhere. So I didn't give you the massive penalty that you would have to fighting in this small space because it doesn't make sense to have that. So, yeah, you're just passing by to say that you won't be able to make it. You really got to take off. You've got to take off. Won't be able to make it really. Got to take off. I can read. So I hope you all have fun. Catch up on the VOD. Thank you for popping in, Crow. It's very nice to see you. We haven't done anything yet, but yeah, have a good time. Speaking of doing anything, what do we want to do? Is the voting thing up and running? Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. I'm going to change that font eventually, but not today. So what are we going to do now? Just as a reminder, we're in the well. We went west. One of these days I'm going to get it right. We went west. North we got shot at, so we didn't investigate any further. And then we went south and picked up some gold and killed a gremlin. So, yeah. So we have the first crossroads and the second crossroads. So this is the first and this is the second. And you can decide what you want to do. The tunnels are probably made of stone. They've already got burning torches inside them, so I doubt they're going to be flammable. But that is a thing, yes. So if anyone is unfamiliar with how these streams work, you are playing this game based on the book, which I have in my hands. That was probably loud, sorry about that. And all you have to do is vote. Just type in !vote, followed by a space, followed by your answer, whatever it is, and they will appear on screen, as you are currently seeing. So yeah. What are we at the moment? 240. It's the book. So yeah. Just as a reminder, yeah, the last thing we did is we took a massive gold bar with us, but we had to get rid of something else, so you got rid of half an eel. As you do. I'm not an ASMR streamer. I don't actually think I've seen any ASMR. I've only heard people talk about it. So, and from what I've heard, it's not seeing it that's the thing, it's hearing it. But yeah, I do admire at the start of these streams how you guys actually manage to vote for the same thing sort of accurately, which involves you spelling everything correctly. And getting punctuation right and all that sort of stuff. So 3 people so far I've gone with go back to the first crossroads and go east. Complaining but softly. Complaining ASMR. Yeah? Fair enough. Whatever floats your boat. Right, so what have we got? We have so far, thus far, 3 votes for go back to the first crossroads and go east. 1 vote for burn the fuck out of these tunnels. 1 for east. 1 for sleep. 1 for retire, this life is too arrowing. And 1 for send Dark directly to jail, do not pass go, do not collect $200. In Monopoly, I don't know, I assume Monopoly's an American game, I might be wrong. Do they just directly transfer the numbers over? Because in Britain it is collect £200, and that means we are better off, because a pound is worth more than $1. So, just a random thought. So yeah, I reckon it's still $200. Monopoly isn't real. I know, I'm just saying that in the Monopoly world, we get a lot more money than you. We also have a vote for if I go, tries coming with me. So that's cool. Enjoy jail, I suppose. Okay, so we're going to go back to the crossroads and head east. That involves me flicking through a lot of pages, so give me a second. I have got my general roadmap up, but... Oh, by the way, do you remember me posting in the Discord a complicated diagram of lots of different arrows and pages and all that sort of stuff? Yeah, that's where we are now. There's a lot of backwards and forwards. So you want to go east from the first crossroads. That seems to be what the vote is. Pursue Chibi for murder. What? How much to have Chibi kill Dark? $200. Oh, there's a weird thing going on in the voting system right now. You're only dealing Monopoly money. Fair enough. I wonder how much Monopoly money there is in the world. There's a question. What was I looking for? You're back there, so... Okay, cool. So, we decide to crawl back to the east of the original junction. What do we find? Pal, crawling through the tunnels, torch in hand, lit torch, puncture in 2 shoulders, and a massive gold bar in the backpack, continues to crawl along the tunnel, round here, that way, until they get to another cave entrance. All of these tunnels seem to lead to cave entrances, but in this one there is a curtain hanging from the entrance, and Pal is not able to see inside. Do you want to open the curtain? Do you want to just throw something through? Do you want to just run in, or do you want to go away, or what do you want to do? You find a cave entrance, and there's a curtain. Spooky curtain. I should probably draw something, because that's what I do on these streams. What page was I on? 61? Something like that? 151. Close. It's only 90 off. Yeah, it's just a small drawing. We're not going to be here for long. Okie doke, today's going to be a rusty day, it seems. That's fine, that happens. Entertainment. Always do that far too low. The tunnels are a bit shorter than that, aren't they? Yeah. Oopsie-doodle. Entertainment. Pan appears to be floating. Give me a second. It's a very loud torch, this one. Right, what do we got? Well, I'm going to read forwards just to know what I could possibly do. Okay, give me a second. This is very fun. I probably should have done this before the stream started. Okay. That seems pretty straightforward. By which I mean I understand it. Maybe a very complicated series of events. Alright, what have we got? For the curtain, we have 4 for a sneaky peek. We have 1 for hit the curtain to see if something's behind it. 1 for run in and smooch whoever's there. There's a lot of smooching going on in chat. Oh no, that's gone. That's disappeared. 1 for hit the curtain to see if something's behind it. Oh no, hang on. Now it's 2 for burn the curtain and shout I am fire, I am death. That jumped up a place, confused me. And 1 for quietly move forwards and listen to the curtain, peek through if it's safe. So we seem to be going for a sneak peek, which is something that we can do, because we do not count out what the book says. Okay, so you peer through the curtain. It's very dark. There's no illumination in the room itself. There's a single room behind it, at which you see a small desk, and on the desk what appears to be quite a large hand, just sort of sticking up, and then some grumbling behind it, some high-pitched grumbling. You can't quite see what it is there, but yeah, that's what you see. Whatever it is doesn't seem to have noticed that you're there, despite the fact that you are illuminating the area. But yeah, there's a hand on the desk, pointing upwards. You can do what you like. So this is what you see. I'll illustrate that before. So there's a little bit of light coming in, some more stone. You can sort of see that this is a bit of a dead end. You see a sort of makeshift desk here, and you see what appears to be the silhouette of a hand. Here's a hand. It's warped by the torchlight. Obviously, it's difficult to see. Like that, and you can just about see some sort of movement behind it. Something strange is going on back here. Who knows what it could possibly be, because you would have to investigate further if you wish to know precisely what it is. Oh yes, I can use the shortcut in this. Hooray! Hooray for very quickly being able to draw vertical lines in Photoshop. Clip Studio doesn't have that, unless you set up rulers, which is a faff. It's making grumbly noises, but it doesn't appear to be moving or anything. It's just there. Yeah. At the moment, the vote is split so far. Everyone, lots of ones. I'll have a quick look to see what the ones are composed of, see if there's any overlap that we can take advantage of. There's probably also some sort of basic bits of wood or whatever, maybe a chair. So what have we got? We have take hand, shake the hand, smooch the hand, propose to the hand, placing a ring on it like Beyonce taught us, investigate further, don't touch hand, or get spooked by hand. Generally speaking, we seem to want to actually go in here. Give me this again. This is a very strange prompt in this. An unusual passage. I hope this sort of ties into something eventually. Yeah, generally speaking, you want to actually go in and look at the hand, possibly touch the hand. There's take, shake, smooch, which is a good evening. Propose to, investigate further, but don't touch hand. Get spooked by hand. I don't know what. That's a passive action, I think. Poke the hand's palm to see if it tries to grab at poker. Investigate and touch nothing. Yeah. So we're going in, by the looks of it. As you pull back the curtain further, as Pal pulls back the curtain further. Here we go. They step into the room to investigate the hand. The hand is illuminated. To reveal that it is a small clay statue of a hand. Just sort of sitting on the desk for some reason. It's a little worse for wear. And behind it, before you can even get close enough to touch it, you see that behind it hang on one quick thing. Okie dokie doke. Might have spoiled this slightly, but behind it is a very angry gremlin. But no ordinary gremlin. For this gremlin has a hat, let's say. Something to distinguish it. This gremlin has, amongst other things, an hammer, for bonking, I presume, and a large silver necklace hanging around their neck. This appears to be some sort of important gremlin, possibly a chieftain of some description. Automod has held things. Here we are. And Gremlin doesn't seem too happy about you being here. For some reason, let's give him sort of tatty clothes and stuff. I don't know what gremlin feet look like. There's a convenient chair leg here, it's fine. By which I mean table leg. So what he just does, he has a hammer. He sees you, smashes the hand. For some reason. Like that. The hand is smashed, indeed, yes. Pell is a little bit confused as to precisely what's going on here. But before they can react, they are attacked by a gremlin with a hammer. An important gremlin with a hammer has got a hammer. Still got nipples though. Right, so we need to have a fight. Unless, of course, you wish to attempt to run away. This one doesn't have a knife and is a little bit slightly more encumbered by the fact that it's got a necklace. Yeah. So you can attempt to flee if you so desire, as is our usual thing. But you can also decide to fight this thing. Because it's got a hat. I won't take a vote on this, but yeah. You trust him? He is coming to attack you with a hammer. You really have two choices: is fight, escape, or possibly improvise your way out of the situation. It's entirely possible. Okay, maybe I do have to take a vote on this. Is that going to work? It did work. Cool. Befuddle gremlin with smooch. It's much smooching. If you remain indecisive for too long, the palm of the clay hand is going to hit you in the head and you're going to take damage. So, yeah. Make some sort of decision. Can you roll first? Roll for what? To not get hit by the clay hand, or? Is there any music going on at the moment? Doesn't appear to be. It should be. I think it's a 2-hour mix. Oh, there it is. Come back in. I could probably take this time to actually improve this drawing, but here we are. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is between a gremlin and a goblin, so I'm just giving these long noses. Possibly a wart. I don't know why he's got a table that's quite so large, but what are we doing? You think gremlins are smaller? I mean, that we have it smaller, and it makes more sense that they're smaller because you only just about fit in the tunnels, and they probably organised these for the purposes of walking around. Right, so we have 2 for burn the angry fuck, lovely. 1 for become part of gremlin society. 1 for befuddle gremlin with smooch. 1 for throw torch at gremlin while crying, because gremlin is wearing a hat. Well. 1 for burn the table and flip it over the gremlin. Not into, over. And 1 for burn with torch and draw sword. The torch can be advantageous in fighting. Oh, because you hate to burn the hat. Oh, I see. So, generally speaking, we're attempting to burn the gremlin and fight it simultaneously. There's now a vote for kill. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah. Burn with torch and draw sword as well. Okay, well, you wielding your torch in the left hand and the kill, but what if don't be kill? I mean, that's the attempt. So we're going in for the kill. Pal lurches forward with the torch. The gremlin is definitely able to avoid it. It can give you a slight advantage in battle, but that is, well, I suppose given the way I've drawn it, you don't really have a disadvantage because of height. So yeah, I'll give you a slight advantage in battle. Don't see why not. If you manage to land a successful hit, you can then see whether or not you can burn it at the same time and acquire bees to release. What? What is going on? Release the bees. We don't have bees. You feel like there's been a dynamic shift in the voting. The voting is just chaos theory. It's, you know, if you want an accurate model of the chaos 0.001 picoseconds after the Big Bang, this is it. This is what you're gonna get. So yeah, let's have a look. What are the stats we're going to have to fight with? Oh, it's 5-5. That's pretty straightforward. Right, so we have, what do we have? We have 8 skill. The gremlin has 5 skill. Our stamina is 14 right now, and the stamina of the goblin is 5 as well. We get a slight advantage because we have the torch. Yeah, so the way this works, if anyone wants to start rolling 2d6s, is that we roll 2d6, add it to our skill, roll 2d6, add it to the gremlin skill, whatever the ultimate number is higher, that person does damage to the other, and yeah, so it works. So what have we got? We've got a 4 and a 3, that's 7, so that gives us 15. 8 plus 7 is 15. 3 and a 3 is 6, plus that is 11. We win, because 15 is bigger than 11, so we can cut it down. I'm going to roll for... Oh, well, we'll see if we can roll under our luck. I suppose that makes sense, doesn't it? Actually, no, let's roll under our skill. So I'm going to do that, just for now. 3 and 4, 7. Yep, cool. You managed to successfully hit it with a torch. That knocks it down. Instead of 2 points, you get to knock it out 3, so it now has 2 stamina. So yeah, we won the first round and hit it with the torch. It's now burning slightly, and the hat is singed. We have more, so roll 2, that's a 4. 4 plus 8 is 12. Ooh, blimey. That's a 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. The gremlin does an attack on us. We lose 2 points. Unless you want to roll to mitigate damage. If you can roll under your luck with 2d6, you can mitigate damage. If you do so successfully, however, you will lose luck. But you don't have to. It's only two stamina points. And you might want to keep that luck for a more important battle later on. Who knows? Now take the hit. Cool. Righty-ho. So we lose 2 stamina. Go down to 12. Keep the luck. Yeah, luck is a bit of a commodity. We're already unlucky enough as it is, yes. More rolling, please. Seduce Gremlin. The Gremlin is currently trying to hit you with a hammer. I don't think that's going to work. You can try, but you will lose stamina points. 6 to add to that is 14. Is that right? Yeah. And a 2, that's a 7. You over double its skill. I'm pretty sure that's Rip Gremlin friend. Unfortunately, the hat does burn with it. So you do not get to keep the hat, alas. Oh, hello. We'll do that. There we are. When I'm doing this, by the way, what I'm attempting to draw is like a sword. So it's... I just keep forgetting to add the handle. Yeah, we don't have a hat. I know. If you didn't use the torch, you'd be fine. But you told me to use the torch. You then subsequently told me to release bees, which we don't have. We still take the remnants of the clay hand. You can take some shards of clay if you want. That's absolutely fine. So you examine the room and you examine the gremlin. The hat is no longer intact, or not intact enough for it to be worth taking. You also notice that it has the medallion around its neck. It's nothing particularly special, doesn't appear to be magical, but it is worth a little bit of money. It's worth 9 gold. You can take it if you want, or you can leave it here. You estimate it's worth 9 gold. You're very good at estimating prices. So yeah, and you wander around the cave area. It's a very small cave. There's nothing particularly there. There's just some old tatty furniture and shards of clay. So yeah. Take it, we need a retirement fund. You can take the necklace, that seems like a bit of a no-brainer. You can. So that's, what, 53? We've got a lot of gold. Necklace, hammer, and... you can take the hammer. Yes, you can take the hammer. I see no reason why not. I will have to draw it at some point, but can we take a look at this hand? The hand is now in pieces. It is now just bits of clay on the floor. It's red clay, if that helps. I forgot about the hammer. The hammer is not better than the sword. It's quite a small hammer. Enough for a gremlin to wield, but it wouldn't be able to be useful as a weapon for you. A little bit too small, but... Hammer would be a throwing weapon. You could throw the hammer, yeah. You could use it as a tool. There's plenty of uses for a hammer. I'm just saying it wouldn't be used as a weapon. Dark Sun said, "Is the hammer better than the sword?" And I said, "No." Okay, let's do new bed. So we're in a cave. There's a hammer on the floor, and there's some clay shards. What do you want to do? Also, we'll go back to the map that we had before. We are now currently here. We went this way. Excuse me, thank you. This way, cool. Which is east, where we found a clay hand. Take the table. We won't be able to fit the table. If you want to take the table, you can. You will have to leave all of your items behind. What have we got? We have 2 for take everything, 1 for take necklace, take shards, and take hammer. I think we're already assumed that we're taking the necklace, but that's fine. Although I suppose we could keep the necklace. It might be worth... For the purposes of the way you guys like to improvise, it might be worth keeping this as a necklace as opposed to 9 bits of gold, but could be used as 9 bits of gold later, because you might want to use the necklace as a necklace for something else. Okay, I'll bear that in mind. By which I mean I'll have to write it down somewhere. Because you never know, you might want to use a necklace for something. Cool. Who knows? So what have we got? 2 for necklace, shards, and hammer. 2 for take everything. That's pretty much it. 1 for take anything not nailed down. Fair enough. 1 for curl up and softly sob over the loss of a hat. You can do that briefly if you want. 1 for skin gremlin. Who was that? Trifles. 1 for take the table. 1 for release the bees. We're going to find some bees eventually. You just got to hope you got a jar. And 1 for test throw hammer to see if it's weighted well enough to throw. I'd said you can throw it. I didn't say it would be effective, as Dark points out. Okay, so you take a necklace, you take the hammer, and you take some shards of clay, as you wish. Yeah. It's fired clay, by the way. It's not soft. Otherwise, it wouldn't be shards. Should I draw those now, or should we carry on with the adventure? Adventure? What? Using adventuring brain of questions and everything else. Yeah. I'm not a but. I'm an if. Unhinged jaw, bees fly out. I wanna watch whatever adventure you're having. How strange. Are we the Candyman? Candyman? What? What? Look, we're not changing horses halfway through the stream. If Plamps wants to stream their own adventure, I would be 100% on board. But alas, that is not what's happening here. Candyman controls bees. Well, of course. I mean, what are bees attracted to more, if not sweet, sugary candy? I don't know. Right, so we've got stuff. Should I draw stuff? I'll do it later, it's fine. Have you never seen the classic horror film Candyman? I haven't seen any horror films. I don't really watch films. You left for a second, you're confused. Yeah, we're talking about bees and Candyman. Apparently it's a film. Yeah. Dunno. Candyman is a horror film. I guessed that by the bit where Emily says, have you not seen the classic horror film Candyman? So anyway. Adventures continue. Just to bear in mind, we have in our... What I'm going to do, I think this is going to look horrible, but give me a second. Let me try. Okay, cool. We're just going to have some missing pictures, which I'll fill in later. That's fine. We have, additionally, in our inventory, we have a necklace, a bar of gold ingot, and clay pieces, and a hammer. I can either do those pictures now or later, it's up to you. So, right, yeah. What now? See, those 4 items which are currently missing images, I will draw at some point. We don't have the ingot, we turned it into gold pieces. No, we didn't turn it into gold pieces, it's just in our bag. Which you can then exchange for gold pieces. We didn't sit down and whittle it out. Unless, of course, you wanted to, you know. We raised our gold. I also raised the gold for the necklace. But I have had written down how much that's worth, and if you decide to use the necklace for something which would break it, or throw the gold away, or give it to somebody, or whatever, then I can take that away from your gold value in total. I'm keeping track of these things, don't worry. Seems like double dipping bad accounting. I'm keeping track of the cross-references. It's fine. I want you to know that if you want to go back to Nostromo and buy some stuff from them, that's how much gold you will have right now. Rather than going, oh, okay, so we've got, like, you know, 36 gold, plus the 21 from the gold bar, plus the 9 from the necklace. I don't want you to have to work that out, you know? Yes, it's representing our net worth, assuming all of the other items in our inventory cost nothing. Are there any more roads we can take from here, or do we go back? There is the place we got shot with arrows, or we can leave. That's all we can do at the moment. Take Chris to uni to teach him how to account. I can count. I know how to count. I did combinatorics. And by counting, I mean usually counting different types of infinity. But we'll be here for a while. You've been reading up on this stuff all day for Starfind. See? Dark Sun knows what's going on. So yeah, you got to vote. What are we doing now? We can leave, or we can go back to the place where there were 2 voices and a lot of arrows. Or we can go back to the room that we were at before and pick up the eel, because we didn't have room for it in our bag. But we do have room for a hammer and some clay pieces and a necklace. But we can put the necklace around our neck, that's fine. Emily's very much up for the smooching today. Dark Sun has the brain cell, this is nothing new. Yeah, we have to share it. I really should limit the amount of decimal places that appear in the voting system. So yeah, things seem to be looking up this time for Pal. No arrows and shoulders so far. I'm gonna... Hang on, what have we got? We've got 3 for Leave Well, 1 for Take Me to Uni. I was at uni for 8 years, I'm not going back. Where am I? Just read ahead so I know what to do. Oh, there's a spelling mistake there. Okay. Cool. Right near the end. Who's weird? What? Clamp? Ah, oh, that's nice. More unhinging of jaws. From what little I know of this film, I'm not going to watch that. Sounds creepy. Don't learn accounting. I'm scared that you're going to do better at it than you. Probably not. I would get hung up on... I would do what mathematicians like to do, which is try and avoid doing actual work and spending all the time trying to work out how to make the work we're doing right now more efficient. So I'll never get anything done, but I'll make sure other people get things done faster. I like systems. Faster algorithms. Efficiency. So yeah, what have we got? We've got 4 votes for Leave Well, 1 for Go Shopping. We can do that after we leave the well. We can smooch whoever shot us with an arrow. We can leave, or unhinge Jaw and Beast fly out, which is, alas, impossible right now. You can count for how many smooches we missed out on. 3 this stream, I think. 3 times you've suggested smooching, and we have, alas, failed. Oh, we also have Go Shopping with the Bees. Is fair enough. Why should they be left out of all of the exciting things? We generally have 5 for leave, so yeah, people want to leave. Right, so let's do a bit of drawing. We come back out here and go south again, and we go to leave the well. Here's the entrance. And there's still some torches on the wall. We decided not to pick up the first torch on the way because that would be narratively convenient. We picked up this one. There were 2 either side. It's fine. These gremlins really had it sorted out, didn't they? Yeah. And here's the top of the ladder. Because it's awkward like that. Apologies if anyone has some sort of claustrophobia and looks at this and thinks, ugh. And by ugh, I mean, and this is the other side of the well. There's some water down here. And this is splash marks from when you fell down before. And this is a foot. Oops, spelled that wrong. Whose foot? Very good question. It's a foot. It's a bare foot. And it appears green. And it appears to be descending. What do you want to do? Doot! We're gonna doot. Doot the foot. Do you wear boots or sneakers? You cannot release the bees. I was gonna suggest something to do with unhinging a jaw. But alas, here we are. Is this Exodia? We got a hand, now a foot. This foot does appear to be, well, you assume it's attached to something, an entire body. Take other torch. You do have to hold the other torch in your hand. So if you take that torch, you are going to have to put your sword away. Also, while you're doing this, whoever's foot that is slowly coming down. Do you know, it probably would have made sense to have the ladder, like, on the side of the well. And then you sort of hop over to the tunnel to get here, rather than climb under the ladder and, yeah. Try it always here with the ever helpful suggestions of involving skinning gremlins. So what have we got? We have Doot. Hide until we see the owner of the foot. Ticklefoot. Take the other torch. Hide. Unhinged your bees pour out. As usual, we should have killed the other gremlins and made new clothing from their skin. Or prepare to throw hammer. What's the reference you're making? Jaw unhinges, bees pour out. That's a Monster Prom thing. Got it. Perhaps you're saying bees and I call you out. Well, yeah, because you're try. I'm prejudiced. Or lightly boop foot with torch. Boop foot. There's too many boops and doots and foots. You thought it was a mummy thing? Ah, right. Are there multiple works of fiction where bees come out of people's mouths? That seems unusual to me. Boop the foot with some food doot doot. That sounds good. So this doesn't really appear to be. There's a hide until we see the owner of the foot. So there's 2. I'll hide around the corner and watch who comes in. That's 3 for hide. Tickle boop has 2 for interact with the foot. Seems to be hiding, yeah. Mummy was locusts, wasn't it? Where do you want to hide? Again, we're in a very limited network of tunnels. You can either hide this way or this way. Apologies for making this yet another crossroads decision. Yes, I know, but you chose to hide. I don't know where you want to hide, or you can actually go to anywhere in the cave complex. It's entirely up to you. All over the place with the voting. Look, I brought this upon myself. I never thought this was going to be normal. Metal Gear Solid 3 had a lot of bees with the pain. That is true. Yes. Or was it hornets? Maybe I can't remember. Boom. New vote. We want to hide. Where are we hiding? Chibi voted to hide in the gremlin box, which did not appear because I changed the vote after they voted for that. Giving players choices like herding cats. I know this is a bad decision, but I feel like I know what would happen in this scenario, so I'll give you a chance to do what you want. I am just going to look some stuff up. Just so I'm absolutely sure. Okay, that's an interesting detail. Cool. Right, what do we got? We have 2 for hide in the gremlin box. 1 for hide behind curtain where the fancy gremlin lived. 1 for spoon gremlin corpse. Of course. 1 for don't do what Emily said, which was spoon gremlin corpse. 1 for hide in curtain room with the burnt hat. 1 for don't do what Emily said and hide behind the curtain. 1 for donut, do what Emily said, which, oh right, slightly different apostrophe there. That's fine. Bad, text passing on my bot's behalf, my apologies. And 1 hide behind the curtain, so hiding behind the curtain. Right. You run back, that way, hide behind the curtain. I'm getting a lot of use out of this, this initial drawing, but here we are. Ah, I hate flipping pictures. It just brings out all of the flaws. And his massive ears. Anyway, you're hiding behind the curtain. You've seen enough cartoons to know that this will go swimming. And you hear soft, squelchy footsteps leading down the corridor. Corridor? The tunnel, not corridor. They're relatively quick, but not sort of hurried. And you hear a little bit of a grumbly murmuring, which you understand at this particular point in time to be, having encountered several at this point, to be the sound of a gremlin. The gremlin appears to be going down the other side of the tunnel. It headed west, not east, as you went. So you have the opportunity to slip behind it and go out of the well, or you can attempt to ambush it, or you can do whatever you want to do. It's entirely up to you. You are now behind the gremlin as it walks down the tunnel in the other direction. It is not a goop monster, alas. Oh, we might have got... Yes, cool. I got that just in before Try's vote came through. One thing you can also see about the gremlin is that the gremlin has a snazzy, small, flimsy, but nonetheless present leather backpack. although it doesn't appear to be carrying anything on themselves. Although it does have a belt with a knife in it, because they've all got knives, apart from the hat-wearing one who had a hammer. You've been in this well a long time. Your eyesight is adjusting pretty well, if you'll pardon the expression. 3 for sneakily follow gremlin, 1 for ambush that, 1 for whisper sweetly in his ear, which is going to freak him out. 1 for sneak follow the gremlin, and 1 for poke the gremlin and run laughing. So a sneaky follow appears to be, not an ambush, just a little follow. So we do a little follow. How do I draw? So the pointy nose. They're all angry for some reason. I don't know why. So, yes, Pal decides to investigate slightly further. Probably should use a slightly smaller brush if I'm going to go into this sort of detail. That's fine. Sneakily follow this thing through the tunnel system. Surprisingly, the gremlin does not hear you. It's got earbuds in or whatever. And when it eventually makes its way to the junction for... Here is our map. No, I was going to do a dead gremlin then, but there's 2 of those now, isn't there? This is where we got the gold from. You are sort of currently walking along here at the moment, heading this way. As you approach the junction, the gremlin veers off to the north. I looked really into that curtain, yeah. I thought I'd draw something that was actually had some sort of substance to it. It's not particularly good, but it was an idea at the very least. He's wearing... oh no, he's wearing AirPods. He can't hear us. Yeah. I wonder how many of these votes have been titled now. What now? I should probably also capitalize the... could I do that in CSS? Probably, but I can't be bothered to do that now. So yeah, what do you do now? It's heading north. You said you just wanted to sneakily follow it. Do you want to follow it all the way? Or do you want to try and ambush it before it gets there? Or... You cannot believe Dark didn't vote your way. Goblin's natural sneakers. So what are the small advantages you do have? You're not very lucky, but you're good at sneaks. Which is a good property for a bard to have, I think. Just to try and avoid conflict. I need like the countdown music or something. Just got like a 30-second jingle. This is the time in which you can vote. Go. Got a few more votes coming in. We're going to spend this entire stream in the well, aren't we? Okay, so we have 2 for ambush, 2 for leave, 1 for use curtain for camouflage and continue follow, 1 for pinches bottom, and 1 for moida. I think moida and ambush are the same thing, but camouflage is... oh no. Oh, 3 for leave. Ambush and murder now only have 1 follow. I think leave. Leave seems to be... leave seems to be the order of the day, I think. Because, yeah, 2... There's 1 for follow, 2 for kill. Pinches bottom, it seems kind of like an ambush, but not quite. And 3 for leave. So, yeah. Can we at least take the curtain with us? I've got a lot to draw, haven't I? I suppose you can take a bit of cloth with you. That's fine. You did just put the torch down back in the other room. You can pick it back up again. It's fine. Or you can pick up another one from the wall. Yeah, you can take it with you, wear it as a cape, so it doesn't really, yeah. It'll make a fancy shawl later. I mean, it's very tattered and it's quite grimy. I don't know how long it's been hung up down here. It's constantly being pushed aside by gremlins at the bottom of a well. Fancy's not necessarily the word I'd take, but again, you can take it if you want. You're trying to curb your murderous impulses. Okay, it looks like we're leaving. Okay, so you leave. Out you go. You return to the ladder, and fortunately, on this time, there is no foot on the ladder. And thus you climb up, and you leave the well. Let me see if I can remember where we are. Then you decide to murder when he's turning to his arrow friends. Right. You can always return to the well later if you so desire. There's no reason you can't. I think that they might be a little bit upset that they've just found 2 of their people dead, but it's something you can do. Right. We return to the road. Where to now? Just for reference, let's go over the places we've been to before. We started at Yostromos Tower. We then went to this crossroads where there is nothing of any sort of remark because we didn't start labelling crossroads at this point. We headed west where we found a hut with an evil woman inside it. We then continued north where we found a tree with a helmet in. Where we met another crossroads, we headed east, met some happy tree friends. Not those happy tree friends, different ones. Continued north until we found a very angry barbarian. Some eels, some bats, some crop circles, some wild hillmen, a daffodil, and now a well. So there's a few crossroads we can go to. There's the original crossroads, there's the one by the evil witch's hut, there's the one by the trees, the one after the trees, the one after we start going into the plains. Sorry, this is all forest here, and this is symbolizing that these were plains that we're walking into. Very tall grass. That's where the barbarian was. There was one by crop circles, one by daffodil. There's lots of crossroads to go back to, or we can just continue where we were going originally. Who needs retail therapy? What? Pretty sure this book doesn't have sound alerts 2 to 3 scenes away. What? This book also doesn't have run away as an option. I give you the option to run away. I'm nice like that. When it makes sense. There are situations in this book that I do know where it would not make sense. So, tough. Catch Pokemon in tall grass. We're not in tall grass. At the moment, we are on the edge of the forest, if I remember correctly. We can see, because it starts off, basically, this whole place is divided up into small sections. There's a big dense forest at the start, then some plains, then some hills, then some plains again, and then forest. We're in a kind of symmetrical Neapolitan of various terrains. There's a sentence that's never been said before. Symmetrical Neapolitan of various terrains. Take magical cyanide pill to end this brain fighting. Unfortunately, this is what these streams are. Things will happen, don't worry. It's just it gets a little technical. We have 3 for continue east. 1 for cyanide, 1 for easterly, and 1 for catch Pokemon in tall grass. Alas, we cannot. So, let me see what's east for a start. Hang on, let me just see if this matches up so that I haven't got the wrong page. We are where? We're there. That's good. Okay, cool. That's fine. Cool. This is where my notes come in handy because I've mapped out most of this game. Okay. Guess what, guys? Guess what? Because these streams are really, really fun and really, really exciting, and you never know what's going to be around the corner. We arrive at a crossroads. But this crossroads slightly more interesting, slightly more unusual. 4-way crossroads. Northeast, southwest. What's going to be at this one as well? Summon Demon, always north. I always want to go north. I'm not even sure I've mapped out north. It's the one you just gravitated to the one part of the game I haven't mapped out. Oh no, there's some stuff later I have seen. Oh yeah, forgot about that. So what's going to be here? There's summon a demon and then spooch them. I mean, maybe. There's a little. You come across a small desk in the plains that just has the word smooch written on the top and a little card on the top that says gone for lunch. The card is very old and withered. You're unsure as to whether or not the lunch being referred to on the card was something that the proprietor of the stand was going to get or was going to be. Because they don't like this. Doesn't seem like they're going to come back. Might as well do this supernatural style. What? Who? What? Oh, summoning demons. An abandoned smooch cart. Yes, just lying out in the middle of the fields. So what have we got? We've got 2 for North, 2 for Summon Demon, 1 for Always North, 1 for Nolan North, 1 for North, 1 for Summon Demon then Smooch them, and 1 for Let the Bees Decide. Alas, the bees are not here, and everyone else seems to be saying North, unless you're the bees. Are you collectively a group of bees? I don't know. I expect a lot of dancing regardless. So we can go North, that's something we can definitely do. Okay. Okay. This should be fun. Because I remember reading this and thinking, what? Hang on a minute. Let me just check something quickly. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Oh dear, I didn't mean to close that. Here we are. I'll find it later. It's fine. Right, so. There it is. Pal returns to the path and continues north. This way. Ooh, apparently some stuff there. And some stuff here. There we are, cool. You continue north, ever further north. Boat turn into a bee. We're not going to be caught in a bee, it's fine. Caught in a bee? What? Someone said something about traps. So I lost track. What are we at? 163. Keep track of the pages so that I don't forget and have to go through all the book again. Right, so Pal merrily continues along the path. It's about midday. You woke up in the last stream to vampire bats, but you spent a lot of time in the well, so yeah. Plenty of sun out. This is bent. Lovely stroll through the fields. Everything's grand. It's cool. Spent an entire day in the well. Now you spent sort of the morning in the well. I may not have done justice with regards to how long the tunnels under the well were. You went into cave complexes. It's very it's time-consuming going through this. I've never been very good at drawing people walking forwards from behind. You know what I mean? Something about the angle of the legs and the feet just never feels, particularly goblins, because their proportions are already slightly off my standard preferences. Luckily we do have a coat. Some music playing. Doesn't appear to be anything dangerous going along. It's absolutely fine. Some pockets. What? Who did the what with the who? We draw an entire page of putts to practice. I need to do more drawing from references. I don't do enough of that at all. So yeah, you just sort of walk along, sort of fields. You can see the forest in the distance. It's a pleasant time, nice day. Sun's out. It's very cool. All's grand in the hood for a while, and you just sort of carry on walking. Hot tip, long and winding paths off into the horizon are a very good way of drawing distance. You did some costume life drawing and mostly they faced us. Yeah. I have tried, you know, those websites where you can just get like a random reference for things. I have tried doing those, and whenever the naked models crop up, it's slightly jarring. Not something I tend to see in my everyday life. It's a little more dynamic. Do you love a bit of cloth? Drawing a bit of flowing cloth. I'm not very good at it, but I like it. You see what I mean? This perspective is just all wrong. It's fine. Anyway, as you're walking along on this wonderful sunny day, you spot over the horizon a small black cloud, just on its own. And as you walk closer to it, it appears to be getting closer to you faster than you're getting closer to where it would be. What are you going to do with the UFO? An unidentified, fluffy object. Disembodied mist. I'll make it look more like a cloud, it's fine. Oh yeah, the curtain. I forgot about the curtain. Can I describe what the book called this again? Can do. A tiny grey cloud. That's what the book called it. A tiny grey cloud. And it is moving towards you, yes. It hangs low in the sky and it appears to be moving towards you. Might be nothing. Might be significant. Who knows? I'm interested. Some of you appear to be saying hide. Not entirely sure how you intend to do that on a big open plain. You return? What did you miss? We escaped the well, and we're now being approached by a cloud. They're not necessarily being accosted. We've just seen it in the sky, approaching us, or heading our direction, I should say. So I suppose it's grey, it's not actually black, is it? Give me a sec. Tame it like a wild Mustang. You have strange suggestions, you guys. So we have 2 for hide, 1 for take out cloud identification book. I don't think that's in our inventory. Oh no, that's gone. That suggestion's gone. 2 now for tame it like a wild Mustang. One for use curtain as cover for rain. One for hug the swarm of bees. And one for keep walking like a boss. Okay, so we seem to be split between hiding and taming. Would you care to elaborate on either of those? How would you hide and how would you tame? Based on your suggestions, we'll see where we go from there. Walk? Yogurts? What? You was joking. Doesn't matter whether you're joking. They became joint first. Walk forward into death is now there. Okay, so that's different from keep walking. Okay, so now we have walking and hiding. That's different. Hide, use curtain as cover for rain. Tame, hug. So we now have got 2 for walk, 2 for hide. I'm pretty sure we had a different walk, but yeah. You feel you may have missed important context. Not at all. You're walking along an open field. It's a bright sunny day, and there's a small cloud that appears to be heading towards you. While you're trying to work out what to do, as Pal is a little bit confused as to what's going on and is unsure as to whether to hide or take out a whip and tame the thing, it continues to move closer towards you, but it also continues to move lower in the sky. It was already hanging a little bit low, but you don't tend to see clouds descend. Totally normal cloud behavior. Absolutely nothing. It's becoming fog. I don't think that's how it works, but... Can you get your torch out? You can. I suppose you should probably already have your torch somewhere. Because there's no reason... for now that it shouldn't still be lit. So here's some health and safety hazard for you. There it is, it's there. Because you have no means of actually lighting a fire yourself without stopping and doing it manually. You don't have any matches or fire capsules, as I believe is one of the items you could buy from your Stromo. So what do we got? We have we're still basically the same vote as last time, but we have a little bit of embrace swarm death, scare the cloud with fire. We seem to be at a mixture here. So, but I suppose generally speaking, everyone seems to be either trying to go towards it or try to go towards it under cover. Okay, so. I'm trying to work out how to do this. It's sort of... yeah. I'm after doing a lot of improvising here. Give me a second. I'll work out what to do. Right. So 2 for hide, 1 for walk forwards to death, 1 for use curtain, scare cloud with fire, walk forward, cover self with curtain, keep going, embrace swarm death. Okay, so since we have a tie of walk forward and walk forward under a curtain, Pal takes out the curtain. Or takes off the curtain, rather, because they appear to be using it as some sort of cape. And decides to hold it over their head to cover themselves from rain. I think I always change which ear of this is bent. As you do this and you continue walking towards this cloud, the cloud gets lower and it gets faster as it approaches you until it gets about, say, 50 feet away, hovering 5 meters off the ground. There's me mixing up Imperial and Metric for you. You're very welcome. Which is absurdly low for a cloud. And it just sort of hangs in the air for a bit. As Pal continues to walk forwards, confident that the curtain will do a lot of the work. Don't ask about character consistency. If there's no consistency in the drawing, there's not going to be any consistency in the actions, I'm sure. Alas, because of the holes in the sheet, when the cloud finally decides to slowly go over you, again, absurdly low in the sky, like that roughly, a little bit of rain does begin, enough to go through and unextinguish your torch, which is a good thing, otherwise it would have set the curtain on fire. So that sizzles out. But it continues to hang over you, briefly, while it's raining, and as you're moving forwards. You need to go so you guys don't kill Pal. Oh, we'll attempt not to, so yeah. You have a cloud over your head. It's raining. Your torch is extinguished. Although you are slightly dry, given that this curtain is not exactly in the best of condition. Just as a reminder, it is a perfectly sunny day everywhere else. Anyone ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I think it was the 4th book, maybe, or possibly the 5th. There was a character in it who was, I think, the god of rain, but had no idea they were the god of rain, and just rain clouds just loved to swarm over them. It's like, oh, it's our god, it's brilliant. But they were just like a truck driver and just got constantly annoyed that it's always raining. Vote Alt F4. I'll save first, but I will do it. Rain plus sun is rainbow. Good point. The sun has to be behind you to do that. So it's going to be over here. It's going to be sort of closer to the camera. We can see there's the start of the rainbow. That's how rainbows work. From the perspective of POW, this is where the rainbow would start. Several million meters in front. Because rainbows have absolute position and are not just a trick of the light. It's fine. Don't listen to weird? What? Oh, love and appreciate try. I mean, love and appreciate try is currently first. And winning. But the only valid response is continue walking. So we continue walking. And it continues to rain. And then it begins to rumble. And then zap. Thwack. Kaboom. Splash. You get hit by lightning. Didn't see that coming. You lose some stamina. You lose 3 stamina, to be precise. And then the cloud just sort of flies off to the west. Just goes away after it's done that. And that's it. That's the Ballad of the Cloud. There we are. Slightly lower on health. You was waiting for it. Well, did you try and do anything to mitigate it? If it was thunder, maybe sort of throw something metal to the side. There's plenty of things you could have done. And I gave you the option to do it, because just for reference, this is a paragraph. A cloud comes towards you, it strikes you with lightning, you carry on. You have no choice. So, eat bread. We can eat provisions if you wish to. That will restore 4 stamina. Eat bread. Seem to be in agreement to eat bread. You said hide. There's nowhere to hide. I said you're on a very large plain, and this thing was heading towards you quite quickly. I did ask where, but alas. We've had some good luck so far, so I suppose, yeah, it's only fair to have a bit of bad luck. You could backtrack, but the thing is, you were walking for a while, you were playing music all the time, you know. It's been a while since the well. Eat the now toasted bread. Yeah, we can eat some bread. Let's eat some bread. That's fine. Get a bit more stamina. Back up to 15. Life's grand. There we are. Yeah, eat toasted cock bread. What? Oh, no, I spelled that wrong. And there it goes. In a case of luck, if it was going to happen anyway, I gave you an opportunity to try and do something about it. This is about improvising. We'll hunt a cloud. The cloud went off to the west, if that helps. Did I do that? I did do that. Right, yeah, that's cool. So here was a cloud. I remember reading that passage and going, what? I'm sure there is actually some sort of reference. A lot of these things that seem to come out of nowhere are linked to other things in the story, but... But the problem is that I've got the voting system set up that if I tend to wipe the votes on the screen. We've already eaten bread, don't worry about that. But yes, do vote on what happens now. Where do you want to go now? We can continue north, that's absolutely fine. But I have essentially 2 commands that I have set up for the voting. There's start vote and end vote, and I almost never actually use end vote, which would get rid of all the stuff on the screen, but would also post a message in chat about the top votes. So I don't want to do that because it would just mess up chat and be annoying. So I tend to just start vote but without a title, and then it looks like it's all gone away, but found their way around that and still managed to get cockbread on there somewhere. You do see, while you're here, hang on, just before you continue, you do see... Yes, you do see, as you see the cloud moving off to the west, you do see a path that does lead to the west. Should probably have mentioned that. Sorry about that. Let's take that over here, and then that will be the crossroads identifier. Oops, secret trail, yes. Well, it's not that secret. It is there. I don't know why they didn't actually put that in the same paragraph. There's a lot of paragraphs in this book that are just filler, and as a consequence, I get you to vote on something, and then we turn to the page, and oh, there's another piece of information that could have been on the previous one. I've got to do another vote now. But I try my best to mitigate that. Flip off strife, continue north. What? Oh, cloud. Cloud. So we have 3 for west, which I thought I'd bring in because you didn't actually know that was an option. You was being clever. You do that sometimes. That's fair enough. It just took me a second. I think we're on that one, yeah. But let me just check my map, which I accidentally closed. Give me a second, I'm an idiot. This is going slowly. Apologies. I promise at least one more thing will happen before the stream ends. It's fine. Okay, cool. So we're here. Yep, that's good. That's where I thought we were. Cool. Good, good, good. You'll crave death too. I'm also still partially death. That's no. Don't crave death. Crave friends who will help and fix you. And medicine. There's a lot of paragraphs in this book. Look, there are 400. I know exactly how many paragraphs there are. And some of them are multiple paragraphs long. That's what's confusing about this. Right, so we have 4 for west, 1 for flip off, strife and continue north, and 1 for continue north. We're heading west. 400 paragraphs, yes. Indeed. So, we head west. I'm pretty sure this is not a crossroads. So we're fine. A pal, in their dogged determination to work out what on earth that cloud just was, continues west. The cloud has long since disappeared out of view. However, you do see a small copse of trees, and the path continues into them, which, yes, not copse. What's the word I'm looking for? Copse is like an area in between trees where they've been cut down. You know what I mean? Small patch of trees. And inside the patch is a copse in which stands a small stone cottage with a thatched roof. A plaque above the wooden door of the stone cottage reads, Aragon the Archmage. Wanna pop in? Yeah, so you come across a stone cottage with a wooden door that reads Aragon, the Archmage. I think there was an exclamation mark there, was there? Possibly, possibly not. Oh no, there wasn't. Oh, and also there's a hyphen between arch and mage, but you get the idea. Try, you're very, very saucy today. I suppose I better draw this, didn't I? Small stone cottage. It's going to look like a lot of the other cottages I've drawn so far, by which I mean the only other cottage I've drawn. It has a thatched roof, which is nice, because they're relatively rough and simple. There's probably a chimney. There's always a chimney, isn't there? Just have some smoke coming out of it. There's a wooden door. Don't know why I did that so big, just a door knocker, it's fine. Wooden door, some foliage, and a window. It's all very pleasant, and it's in a little copse with some trees around it. And there's a little flower bed. It makes a change from the evil lady's house because the evil lady's house was made of wood. Although I think I drew it in exactly the same angle because I'm like that. Anyway, what are you going to do? We have 3 for knock on the door. 1 for commit suicide while Kiro isn't watching. What? 1 for smooch the mage. 1 for no thank you. 1 for cloud is inside. 1 for you got to go for a second, don't do anything dumb or suicidal. Who was that? Kiro, marvelous. Oh, that would be why Triforce decided to do the thing. Strip naked and knock on the mage's door. Wink. Alas, that doesn't have any more votes than just knocking on the door. Does the roof look like it could easily come off in the event of an explosion? I mean, it's thatched, so possibly. Right, well, it looks like we knock on the door. You knock on the door. As well you ought. Or might. Oh, look at that. It turned to the right page first try. It's always nice. Pal knocks on the door, and a voice from inside says, "Come in!" Quite loudly and happily. Pal opens the door and walks in to find a old bearded fellow sat behind an ornate wooden desk. Very well furnished room with fine furnishings. That's how language works. Some rugs, lanterns. It's very sort of pleasant atmosphere, if slightly foreboding. Hang on a minute, I haven't started the next vote yet. At the desk, behind the desk, is the old man. He's wearing purple robes and a conical hat. He rises from his chair and says, "I am Aragon, and you are an insignificant mortal. You have the nerve to enter my household, no doubt to rob me of my wealth and treasure. You are wrong, stranger, for I will relieve you of your wealth. Unless you give me 10 gold pieces and 2 objects from your backpack to add to my exquisite collection, I will turn you to stone." Give him 2 arrows. So I better draw Aragon then. Nice sort of. I'm not very good at these sort of decoration-y things. Yeah, anyway. Old man. Give him little glasses. Nope, has the music ended? Oh, no, still going. Just quietly. It's fine. Give him round spectacles. It's a bit like Dr. Steele. Got his hands strangely laid out on the table. Yeah, it's a nice looking building. Looks bigger on the inside. There he is. He invited us in. He's a terrible host. Look, he's an archmage. What are you gonna do? Crow? Is Crow here? What? Or are we just talking about Vod Crow? Hello, Vod Crow. Who's green? Who's what? Who? How? What? Where? When? Why? I'm going to go to the next video because music appears to be nothing. Let's go here. Oops, what? Who's oops? Oops is disappoobsing. No, that doesn't make sense. What do we got? Give 2 arrows and 10 gold for 3. 1, smooch him as tribute, then bat eyelashes suggestively. 1 vote for shove 2 arrows in his knees for being rude. 1 for ask if you've seen a dick cloud pass this way, or 1 for reflect spell with something shiny. Oops is green for you, the same green as you. You're orange for me. So, I don't know if that helps. But yeah, there's a lot of blues and greens in the chat. We started off with a lot of purples, and then everyone sort of disseminated into the blues and greens. Kiro's orange for you too. Kiro's Twitch is peculiar today. By the way, did you ever sort out the audio, Kiro? Oh, that music's a bit loud. You retain your redness, fair enough. Dark Sun is the colour of blood weeping from our shoulder wounds. Dark Sun does sound like a Games Workshop colour. Dark Sun Red. Dark Sun Reddle. The audio's fine now? Marvellous. Good. Was your name Cyan for anyone else for a second? No, it was red. You have the prime thing next to your name, which might help. Right, so we seem to have 3 votes for give 2 arrows and 10 gold. We fine with that? It's probably that unless you've chosen a preferred colour, the colour changes, yeah. If you have a preferred colour, it should be fine. But no, it was red. Or is there a thing like if you hover over it? No? Right, so we hand over 10 gold and 2 arrows. Suppose that makes sense. Cool. Let me just look to see what happens. Do we get more dialogue? Well, he's asking for stuff. We don't have a bow. No, but we are giving away 10 gold pieces. No, I'll give you the opportunity to change your vote if you want. But what if friend? I mean, you went into his house and he said he'll turn you to stone if you don't do things. Doesn't sound much like a friend. Who cares about the coin? You're more concerned about the arrows. Yeah. I can get more arrows when we get shot. That is true. Not dead yet is now pink, which is cool. Is this what it's like to read your chats? Yeah, it's tricky. Pink. It's nice. Okay. We now have 4 votes for it, so we're gonna give him the 2 arrows and 4 gold. We're left with a single arrow and 43 gold, which I shall modify, which takes into account the necklace and the gold thing. Because we still have that. He did say he'd turn you to stone. And his door does say the Archmage. And he's got a very pointy hat. So yeah, Pal reaches into the backpack, reluctantly hands over 10 gold pieces and 2 objects, 2 arrows, to Aragon. Aragon then commands Pal leave the building. And return to their journey. Certainly not going to make friends. Right. He tells us to leave. We can either leave and go somewhere, or we can stay and throw something at him. I don't know. This is Aragon. I'll put him on the map. stars. It's made out of card or something. Can we rename this to the Forest of Jerks? Yeah, possibly. Leave and write asshole house on the side. You think we came out ahead? That could have gone a lot worse. Could have. The arsehole thing, but you don't know how to spell something wrong. What? Oh, you know you'll spell something wrong, so here's a new vote. That's cool. Fair enough. Okay. So, on your way out, you curse your poor luck. Oh, it's the wrong document. That's why I'm confused. You curse your poor luck, and you take out your sword, and etch into the top of the door the word asshole. Aragon inside appears not to notice that you've done this. Who knows how long it'll take them to realise. Yeah. And then reluctantly you continue on your merry adventures. 10 gold pieces and 2 arrows down. There you are. Does that mean you get 2 votes? I don't think so. Go back and head north, keep going west. Well, fortunately, it is the end of the stream. So we can decide what to do next time. We are currently here. This is where it's a dead end. That's there. And the cloud went off somewhere to the west. I didn't seem to find it. Yeah, that was it. That was all that was at the end of the westward path. No cloud, alas. Just a house. But, thank you everyone for coming along. We made a bit of progress. We cleared out a lot of the well. Obviously there was still that area with the arrows flying out that we didn't do. But you're always welcome to go back to that if you so desire. We got attacked by a cloud. And we gave a wizard some money. That's about it. You gotta go, good stream. We didn't die at least. That is true. Thank you for coming along, and I'm going to end the stream as well. You're not going to miss very much, Kiro. Have a wonderful time, and hopefully your ear sorts itself out. And by sorts itself out, I mean gets thoroughly beaten by antibiotics. Right. Oh, I can put the vote up. That's fine. Put that there. Oh, it's big. Hang on. I can fix this. Am clever. No, am stupid. There we go. Alright, so far we have 4 votes for Love Kiro, which I think wins. So we are, until next stream, until next Forest of Doom stream, we are mandatorily required to love Kiro. Don't think that's going to be particularly difficult. Pretty sure most of us do that automatically, but nonetheless, it is now in stricture. So, it's a nice mix, isn't it? Love Kiro and right asshole house on the side. Be sad about no smooches. No smooches this time. I mean, you could have attempted to do it on Aragon, but not sure what he would have. I mean, he said he would turn you to stone, so it could be worse. Yeah. Thank you for coming along to the stream. Once again, this is Mrs. Very Good Art that they appear to be doing weekly. They claimed this was quite dark. I don't think there's many things that could be dark in this one, apart from getting hit by lightning. Yeah. Hello. There we are. This one was not over the line. Yes, it wasn't. Well, yeah, I was expecting a lot worse. Miss was very worried as to whether or not this would be a bit too much in the art. But given what happened last stream, there's not an awful lot you could awful lot else you could do. Words are escaping me. It's quite warm in here. Yes. We now have 2 votes for Love Mrs. Art and 2 votes for Love Kiro. They are currently tied, so we have to do both. That's how it works. Only love their art, though. It's fine. Right. Is there anything interesting to say? I don't think so. I have comics to do. I have a bunch of personal stuff I need to sort out this week, which is fine because I'm not doing an SSS comic. There's some cool art, I think, coming soon. Maybe you might be able to see some of it. We'll see. There's also something I've got to do for a friend. There's a couple of things I've got to do for a friend. Might start work on the covers and stuff for the next Secret Sleepover Society book, assuming I am allowed to do so. I will contact them. Not now, they're on holiday, so it's me unfair. Sounds busy, too much work. Nah, that's fine. There's other stuff I want to do as well. I want to start on Outliers stuff at some point. At the very least, I want to do something to do with Outliers, because they're always left behind. I've come to the conclusion that I can't do Whitecoats, because it's too much drawing to be doing Foggate, SSS, Outliers, and Whitecoats all at the same time, so I'm going to use Outliers as a priority for sort of infrequent things, and then work out. That gives me enough time to do other stuff in the week that isn't drawing related or is more commercial related rather than regular content stuff. I'd love more time, thank you, but an assistant I don't think would help. I'd like to do stuff with other people though. That is something that I do too much on my own, and I have done for the last decade. So I should probably start collaborating more. I know we're doing the Pokemon stuff, and we're doing this, but I mean more sort of specifically, find someone to write something with, or I don't know. I just kind of want to collaborate more. Only so many hours in a day. That's the problem. Yeah, so many hours in a day, so much crap to do that is unrelated. That said, I have found something that actually helps me a little bit with relaxing and other stuff, which is I started speedrunning Dishonored 1. And I know I did Dishonored 2, which is why I decided to install Dishonored while we were all talking about it a couple of weeks ago. And I thought, let's do Dishonored 1. And the one thing I found while doing that is that there's a lot of time that you just spend in the boat with Sam talking to you, and you can't do anything about it. And so what I've managed to do is I've managed to start doing speedruns of that, and then every time there is an unskippable cutscene that comes up, I just get up and start doing some kind of fake aerobic stuff. Just a bit of exercise to keep me going. And it's quite nice, because that happens every 3 minutes. You get 30 seconds to 2 minutes worth of exercise. And it's just a nice little thing that's it's simultaneously a bit of a fake aerobics, in as much as I have no idea what I'm doing for aerobics. It's just aerobic exercise, you know what I mean? There's unskippable cutscenes. There's loads of unskippable cutscenes in that. In Dishonored 1. It's is the problem with being human, our ability to measure the scope of things sucks. Oh, I'm awful at that. Absolutely. Especially this Dark Souls thing that's taken me so much long. I've been working on the Dark Souls thing a little bit yesterday, the majority of today, and I still haven't finished one comic in that time, which is, I specifically made editorial choices to make it simpler, because there's one panel that has almost nothing on it, and that shares a background with another panel, so I tried to make it faster, and for some reason still haven't managed to do it. It's annoying. You may be dissociating through all of them. That's fair enough. It's just Sam talking to you. It's nothing particular. I mean, I like Sam, but who's human? I do not judge species, so that's the wonderful thing about the internet is I don't know who you are. You are who you present yourself to be, and that's perfectly happy to me. Perfectly fine for me. I'm perfectly happy with that. You know what I mean? Sam is not as garbage as the other one. Sam's cool. I like Sam. And he gets the pub at the end of it, which is great. I do remember watching a speedrun, though, where in the last mission you can push Sam into the water, and he just sort of... his animation doesn't change. He stays sitting down. He just jumps out of the boat and flops in the water. It's very funny. But yeah... But also you played it already, so know everything already. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. The speedrun's slower as well. It's an interesting thing, as the Dishonored 2 speedrun feels faster. I don't know why. Because it feels tighter as well. So it's very strange. And there's a lot... One thing I did notice with Dishonored is that Dishonored 1 has a lot more to do per area. Whereas in Dishonored 2, almost all of the missions you have are, you have this to do, and that's it. You need to go to this place and kill this person, or go to this place and rescue this person. Even in one, you know, like the Adamire one, you know, you have to go to this place, kill this person, and rescue this person. And it turns out to be the same person. So... that just turns into one objective. But in Dishonored 2, you've got like, okay, go here, get this thing, kill these 2 people and rescue this person, all in one go. Off you. You know, it's sort of interesting. Here's the bad thing about doing the no runes run. Turns out double jump is a rune. Oh yeah. Yeah, I get that immediately. It's the first thing I get. Which I've only recently found I can actually get sooner than I expected, because you can buy a rune from Piero, which is quite good. So I'll do that, and that should speed things up a bit. Which also allows you to get a faster running speed and longer blink sooner as well, which is cool. Is it frustrating? Yes, it is. Also found a faster route out of... The annoying thing with the Dishonored speedrun is that I like to do speedruns... What I would... I'm not a kind of competitive speedrunner. I'm a speedrunner by my own weird standards, and one of my own weird standards is I like to do natural speedrunning, by which I mean not too many... I don't really like breaking the game, as it were. I love watching speedruns that do that, but in terms of my own play, it's a bit less. I like to try and do things roughly as the mechanics were intended. But the Dishonored speedrun has a lot of clipping out of bounds, a lot of flying up walls. The very first thing you do in the game is that you just fly up a wall. It's very funny. But I don't want to do that, so I do add about 15 minutes worth of time. Glitchless. I'm not sure if it's glitchless. I think I possibly do use 1 or 2 glitches, but it's like there is a glitch that you do, which I used to do in my playthrough because it's obvious. You just do it by accident, which is that if you have your retractable knife, whenever you put your weapons away, it does a little spinny animation with the knife. But if you try to use your left-hand weapon while you're doing that, your left-hand weapon stays out, but your knife goes away. Which is not supposed to happen, but when you do that, you move faster. So, it's kind of a glitch, but at the same time, putting a weapon away with one hand and keeping the other hand out, I don't think is really against the rules. I think it's perfectly acceptable to just have one weapon out. Flying through walls, less so. Going out of bounds... falling into the void, swimming in the void. Also, the void in Dishonored 1 is a lot brighter. That's one thing I noticed. I think it's because they did mention in Dishonored 2 that the void was being corrupted by Delilah or something, but it was very dark in Dishonored 2. Yeah. They're good games. Play them if you haven't played them before. We'll probably do Death of the Outsider after XCOM, I think. Be nice to sort of finish off the series. Probably won't be a Dishonored 3 as far as I know. Oh, also I've got the art book coming. I ordered the art book for Dishonored 2 like 4 months ago and completely forgot about it because it was on back order or something. And I just got an email the other day saying it's coming through. So lots of cool art. I'm gonna spam pictures because I have a thing about art books. Sorry. Yeah. So anyway, I'm rambling. That's what I do. I waffle. So yeah, thank you for coming along to the stream. Apparently I need to get an assistant and or more time. I'll attempt to do something like that. Unfortunately, I can barely afford to hire myself, let alone an assistant. But yeah, and also you guys already do enough for me as it is. So yeah, certainly can't ask for more. Have a wonderful time, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. I need to get on with comics, get on with some stuff for friends. Secret squirrel projects that might be fun, or failing that, some way to manipulate time. Yeah, that's ideal. Like slow time everywhere else and have time. Well, even then, I'll still age normally. What do we do that's useful? I mean, you do like sort of fun Pokemon stuff. You keep track of sort of stream things, and we're taking your time if anything. No, not at all. I choose to. If I felt like this was a waste of time, I would stop. Like, that's not to say that your opinion means nothing. It's just I enjoy this, and I enjoy chatting with you guys. I enjoy the interactive elements of it. You know, I enjoy the fact that good things have come out of this, like interesting creative stuff. Chibi started streaming. You're considering doing your Dark Souls project thing. Just all sorts of really cool sort of creative stuff has come out of these things. Mrs. artwork for this series. Well, everyone's artwork for this series. The Final Fantasy stuff. There's loads of stuff. You know, and then seeing creative work spontaneously spring out of what I do either directly or indirectly is really amazing and lovely. Yeah, and I certainly would not say that this is a waste of time, personally. Because, yeah, it's a good thing. Net good. Net positive, and it's nothing to do with me, it's all to do with you guys. So I'm glad I could be a catalyst. I'm happy to be a catalyst. So yeah. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming along. It's nice to end on a slightly positive note. I need to watch Chibi's stream because I haven't done it yet. You best be sure I will be spamming messages in the VOD. For once, I will be the VODder. Still annoyed I missed that. But I only missed it because it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have missed it. You know what I mean? But anyway. More Chibi streams, never a bad thing. Have a wonderful time, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Get something nice. Have a nice drink. Or something to eat. Or sleep. Be good. Or continue to be good. Yeah. And happy birthday, Dark. Happy birthday to you, etc. I would sing the song, but I loathe it. So, yeah. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.